So we're back on Nick's account. He has some questions for an account tune up. My question is, who would I make my next E5? So let's jump into his heroes. Okay, so there's some interesting characters down here, but of course this Ithaqua did absolute work like a week or two ago to finally get Sealand 20 done in Abyss. And now on Nick's account, every single Sealand is done. That is pretty much the amazing thing about Stellar Shards for the billionth time, in case you guys have not heard it like a million times yet on my stream. What's up, Guan? What's going on, man? I'm thinking of Ithaqua for Void Arc fights and swapping out Ithaqua for an Ignis. Problem is I'm missing 2 5-star chests to do both of them. I'll swap Ithaqua only if Asmo will be best Void hero to go, since I'm missing like 500,000 resources. If Asmo won't be best, I will be going with Queen. Okay. Alright, so you got the Asmo copies. I don't know if you're planning on building them from scratch or if you're planning to just do a little swapperoo with like a Tara or a Belrain. Honestly, Tara's probably the weaker one, I'd say, overall. Hard to say. But okay, let's take a look. So Ithaqua is pretty much either regression or swap food. Like he said, we are getting really close. Really, really close. We got 7 cores. I tried to avoid using any spheres for crystals. I would just keep farming the game modes, and it should be, I think you get like 500,000 within a month, right? Pretty sure you can from all the game modes that are active now. Maybe prioritize the crystals of transcendence in the Void Arc store, the central hall. Maybe that would be something to do, and say forget the pet right now. I want to get that done. Kind of up to you as far as that one though. But yeah, okay, so Ithaqua is pure food. The question is, do you regress him and then build another hero, or do we straight up swap him to, say, Queen copies? So let's take a look at your heroes again. I want to make sure I remember what you have. You got almost Void 4 on the Russell. Got a little bit in 4Cs. A little bit in carry. So you're doing the method where you're kind of spreading them out, which isn't a bad idea, especially for Void Arc. Nothing else there. Cool. All right, let's go back through. Got Demon Bell, Magic Stone Sword, upgraded Antlers, upgraded Punisher, upgraded Rui, upgraded Cog, regular Crown, Demon Bell, Rui. Okay, so you got a bunch of artifacts too. Little refresher since it's been like a couple weeks since we've been on this account. Honestly, and I really, I know I'm getting distracted. I really like the new Destroyer. I know a lot of people really hate the artwork, but I feel like this fits the current, like, new hero looks better. It's a little more cartoonish, yes, but it definitely looks more current than the old ones. But some of them got huge upgrades. Like, Destroyer, I think everybody can agree, Destroyer got much more badass. That's just me. Same with, like, Deathsworn. You got worse, though. Like, a lot worse. Okay, so what is a good hero to build? As far as PvP, I think you're pretty much set in your way with your lineup. I don't think you really have to change much besides starting to go towards either an additional Sherlock, maybe an additional Void hero, but of course that's not going to happen anytime soon. 1 Void hero is what this account is going to be able to get. And yeah, we really are going to have to see what Asmodel can do. Dauntless Asmodel, or Asmodel the Dauntless. Yeah, Asmodel the Dauntless coming later this week. Interesting. We don't have to worry about Sealand. We don't have to worry about Aspen Dungeon. We definitely don't have to worry about Tower. Literally everything progress-wise on this account is going to come from the Void. So yeah, Ithaqua could be a good pickup for sure. I do feel like, though, before prioritizing Ithaqua, I would almost go with the Ignis plan. The Ignis plan sounds better. What do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, Mika. We got 4 Ignis there. How many more do we have? Any here? We got number 5, and then of course we got what, like 6, 7, 8, 9. So you got enough for one of them. You just can't do both projects, essentially. Both projects are not something you can do. I personally would prioritize I would prioritize the Ignis. The Ignis energy feed for your ticks is going to provide much more progression in Vortex. Again, you're going to need to start saving up those Demon Bells, upgrading the Demon Bells. You do have an upgraded Magic Stone Sword. Do you have Ignis? Or, I mean, not Ignis. Inosuke. We got one Inosuke here, so that's good. You have another one. Another Inosuke laying around to make a 6-star. Yes, so you can make a 6-star. Let's check out your pets in the Galactic Tree. You already have one that does have HP, so you can't really go the Inosuke cheese route because, yeah, the HP is the problem. Yeah, but Vortex long run for me, or Vortex is the only real long run at this point. All other content are pretty much old. They're done with. None of the old content is hard to beat when you have an account like this. This is literally the only place you can get stronger, and you have to decide between Realms Gate, Void Vortex, and Void Arc. Void Arc, though, you're only missing out like on a boss here and there, whereas Void Vortex, you're smashing for a lot more resources every time, so I would probably go towards the Void Vortex instead. Void Arc, like the Ithaqua, like you said, will help on the boss, but besides that, it's not really going to do much. Realms Gate, of course, you can get higher corruption. Is it really that important? It depends on what your team looks like overall, but unless your overall team power is much higher, going to a higher corruption is not going to help that much. What about Arc, since I can't beat 5th and 6th bosses? Honestly, one of the best solutions to that is get a candy bar, a lucky candy bar on your main damage dealer. And I don't remember if you actually have one on this account. I don't think you do, right? Yeah, it's funny how Lucky Candy Bar is somehow making a resurgence in the game. Putting that on like one of your biggest damage dealers and just let them attack for 6 rounds is sometimes the best option. Because you don't have like a Faith Blade, you don't have a hero that can't be stunned. One thing that will fix that, though, is if you do go for the Ignis, the 10-star Ignis on, where is it? On death right here, you'll get 100% control immunity. So what you want to do is make sure you're feeding that control immunity to the damage dealer that you're going to fight when you get to the Void Arc bosses. Because again, 5, 6, and 7, they're very, or 5 to 6. Yeah, just 5 and 6. I don't know why I said 7. 5 and 6 become very, very difficult. Plus, Ignis will also help you when it comes to feeding your ticks energy for Void Vortex. Shuby with the 2-month prime. Thank you so much, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. But yeah, Ignis is definitely the best next option. Like, hands down. Hands down. Hey, June's in chat. What's going on, man? Just got an Asmodel from a core by far. Oh, but far from able making a transcendence. I mean, at least Nick has all the copies he... Wait, do you? 1, 2, 3... Wait, you only have 7. I guess you could use some chess. No, you got the rest of them down there. That's good. That works. That's perfect. Do you think 2 10-star Ignis or 1 E5 Ignis is better? Probably. Well, here's the thing. If you have 2 different ticks that you want to feed energy to, I would go the route of 2 10-stars. Otherwise, I think I would go with 1 E5 Ignis personally. June might be able to shed a little bit more light on that, though, since he has done a lot more Vortex on the Butterfly account. But yeah, not too bad. You kind of got everything you need. I would honestly, so here's the thing. I know you're talking about swapping Ithaqua to Queen potentially if you're going to build Queen as a Transcendence hero. But if you do choose Asmodel, then I would just straight up swap Ithaqua into an Ignis. That way you're not losing resources. I mean, you're not super high, but you're not super low on resources either. But you don't have enough to build one from scratch. Yeah, money can always solve problems. Yep. But yeah, keep on farming up. I think you're in a good spot though, man. Inosuke cheese won't work. I would say definitely go for the Ignis. That's gonna be your best bet. It's gonna feed energy, and then maybe, depending on if you want to focus on PvP or Vortex, if you want to focus on PvP, it's not a bad idea to get a second Sherlock on your team. Garuda is kind of the one in this lineup that it just doesn't feel like it has a place. Well, Garuda and of course the 2 light heroes, but you can always swap those out. But a second Tix might be worthwhile. Since you already have a upgraded Punisher, even though it's not splendid, what I would honestly try to focus on at this point as well is getting more demon bells for upgraded demon bells for energy feed. Getting energy feed for 1 ticks and then working on the 2nd ticks is probably a good idea. Next, Amun-Ra or another damage dealer like Russell. After that, I mean, having an Amun-Ra on your team gives you a lot of flexibility depending on what the meta's doing. I would say not a second Russell. Russell's still kind of very fringe on the meta at all, if at all. So I would probably stay away from that. But I mean, again, this is another account, perfect spot to kind of transition into that Vortex meta, but it is going to take a lot of artifacts. So save up the Demon Bells, save up the copies of Ignis. Probably want a second Ticks and a second Ignis down the road, but that's pretty much what you need to work on.